Hi from Mary at Singing Strong. If you're new to this channel, welcome. And if you've already been here before, well, welcome back. I've spent the last couple of days working in the theatre, assisting with the final preparations for a local production of Frozen Jnr. Now, this is being put on by a new youth theatre company called Gippsland Youth Theatre, and I'm helping out as the musical director, and it's been a lot of fun being back working with young people again. It's been very exciting for the cast of young performers to finally get into the theatre where we can start to put everything together. However, it can be a very tedious and sometimes very boring process, especially when you're trying to work out where to put the sets, how one thing worked in the small rehearsal space and now we're in a big theatre and we have to change everything to make it fit to the space. It's been a very challenging 2 days, but absolutely a lot of fun. And the progress that they've made has been enormous just in those 2 days. On the second day of rehearsals, they finally got to try on their costumes and run the show with the costumes. Now, that always adds another layer of challenge. And when you're working with young people, trying to get them into their costumes, making sure they've got the right thing on, that it's in the right place and looking good, that takes time. There's some quick changes, and to practice those takes time and effort and lots of waiting again while we work out, well, this costume doesn't look right, or we have to adjust this or that. So, but it's been a lot of fun. And it's also been great to see them performing on stage in their costumes, because all of a sudden there's another layer of their character. And we're really starting to see the characters from the show start to shine. After lunch on the second day, so we've done almost two full days of rehearsing. We're getting a little tired. We wanted to run the show once more. We want to take advantage of the time in the theatre. So they say time is money, and all of this costs a lot to put on. So we wanted to make the most of the time that we had in the theatre, and we ran the show again. And we just put them back into their casual clothes, and we ran the show another time. You could see that some of them, especially the younger ones, were starting to fade with energy even after having lunch. So it was a little bit challenging not being in costume to then run the show for another time. And it's important because we've got to work on the lighting, we've got to work on the sets, make sure everything is in the right place for the show to do well. A couple of the main characters, and they're very young, like they're less than 10 years old. I felt that they were a really great example as to how to be resilient and how to keep going even when you are challenged with being really tired. So there was a couple of young people in particular in that last run of the show who they got out there and they kept working on their characterization. They kept the energy levels up whenever they were on stage. They were that character and they were performing as best they possibly could. If there was some extra direction, something, some of them were coming on a little bit too late, or they were saying their lines as they were walking on, which made it that we didn't hear it properly. They took those directions and then they did it correct every time. So they really showed what it is to be a real performer. Now, these performers have a very bright future. They're the ones that the audience are going to remember well after they have left the theatre, because they are really getting into the character. They're doing their very best. The energy level is up even when they're tired. They put across a genuine, full of life performance, whereas some others you could tell were starting to lag, and it was really challenging. Now, they've all done a fabulous job. They really have, and they've come a long way in their performance. It's going to be a great show. Sometimes people say, oh, well, you're born with the gift of singing, or you're born with the gift of being able to perform. And I think for anything in life, we have a different way, a different path that we want to follow. I mean, it would be dreadful if we could all sing, if we could all be great golfers, if we were all doctors. Okay, what about all the other things that need to happen in life? So, of course, not everyone is going to be a gifted singer or a gifted performer. However, these performers, these young people, they are working on their craft all the time. They're putting in those 10,000 hours, as they say. They're putting in the time. They're not wasting the time that they have in that rehearsal space. You know, they're not going, oh, well, I'm tired, so I'm just not going to try. Nope, they got on stage and they did their performance just as they should. I think their determination to do their very best every time, that is what makes the difference between your average performer and that one that you remember, that awesome singer, that awesome performer. That's what makes the difference between them. Well, how about you go and find something on in your local community, whether it be a singing performance or a theatre show or something. Go along and enjoy that performance. Go along and be entertained and support your local community in the performances. Another thing you might want to do is get out and do it yourself. Keep an eye out in your local papers or online communities where there may be some advertising about auditions, or there might be a local choir or something. Karaoke nights. Go out and get involved and enjoy singing and getting up and having a go. Anyway, have a great day. Have an awesome day. Go out and sing. Thanks for watching. Bye.